All right. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing tonight? And welcome to another episode of the Sewing and Reaping YouTube channel. Um, I would cut my camera on for this particular video, but this is done impromptu, no planning. I was just watching Carrie's channel, and I noticed that Carrie is reviewing a video that BurntToast did on her channel a little while back when she was doing her slandering thing. And BurntToast seems to have a very selective memory about things. And typically, when money is involved and jealousy is involved, people will tend to have that. And I'm referring to BurntToast. And I'm actually going to defend Carrie pretty strongly in this video, not lightly, but strongly, because since I was there and I know what was said and I know what was done and I know how these people think, I'm referring to Toast and her compadres or whatever, I can give you guys a little bit of insight on what kind of a liar she is. And BurntToast, by the way, in the past, when you and I have had a disagreement, you always allowed me that opportunity to come on that little channel of yours. I have no problem doing that, and I have no problem coming on there with receipts to show you what kind of a hypocrite you actually are and the lack of research you actually did when talking about Carrie, especially in reference to me being BFF or being friends with Carrie. So, BurntToast, I don't want you getting offended when I use the word dumb, stupid, hypocrite, or anything like that attached to your name, because let's just face it, when it comes to the geek room, when it comes to BurntToast, Teddy Bear, and certain other people in this community, they don't do no research before they start running their mouth. So again, I'm going to be doing this to defend Carrie, but I'm also going to be doing this to help BurntToast with her history, because I got a feeling she failed that in school. So let's get into this here. So according to, and I've watched a lot of that actual video on BurntToast's channel, so I wasn't surprised by what I heard, but I believe I can help out a little bit with a response to Toasty. Now, according to BurntToast, and this is important, BurntToast, you need to hear this now, because this is why I'm going to start referring to you as stupid and uninformed. According to you, if someone is being nice to Shani in their chat, that means that that person's a hypocrite and that person was just trying to play somebody because they were just trying to get clout in the chat or whatever, trying to get close to Shani or whatever, right? And if somebody goes on their YouTube channel, that means that they're friends and that they're supporting each other. Okay, so first and foremost, this is what I know about Carrie. Carrie is fairly new to YouTube. That's number one. And I think BurntToast is preying on that. I think that BurntToast knows that Carrie is fairly, I didn't say super new, but she's fairly new to YouTube. And she feels like she can manipulate the people that are watching Carrie into believing the trash that's coming out of her mouth is she shows a couple of screenshots that she took. See, I can do the same thing too, BurntToast. You see, you left comments on GTV. If I wanted to be a jerk, I can actually show people these comments that you left on GTV and say, oh, look at this. She supported me. You've been on my channel before, BurntToast. Does that mean you support me? You said a positive thing or two about me, BurntToast. Does that mean you support me? Obviously not. All right. You're kind of lucky that I've been putting posts up about Frank and whatnot, and I haven't gotten around to you yet, BurntToast. But you're one of the most inconsistent liars on here as well, next to the Geek Room. Okay. For the most part, Carrie just seems to be just from what I can see. Anybody on here knows my reputation, knows that if I thought that there was something sneaky or fishy or something that was unethical about Carrie, I would have said something by now. I don't see it in her. I just don't. So she just looks like somebody that's just reacting to, you know, the Shanny stuff and some other stuff that's going on on YouTube. And she has a genuine audience that seems to support her on here. Again, I think that the BurntToasters and other people on here are just jealous of that because their channels are not relevant anymore. But anyways, neither here nor there. Let's get into this issue about whether or not somebody leaves a positive comment in somebody's chat and whether or not that makes them a supporter of theirs. BurntToast, you ain't been around that long. You've been dealing with Bullhorn Betty for a long time, so you don't really know the people that you're affiliated with. So let me allow me to give you a little history on the Geek Room, on Drag, and a lot of them people that you're affiliated with, BurntToast, using your own stupid hypocritical argumentation that you're using against Carrie. Do you remember what happened during the first eviction saga, BurntToast? No, you don't. The first eviction saga, when I was living in that house the first time, while I was still living there, after she told me to get out that house, I was called the N-word. BurntToast, are you aware that Dragnet was not angry at Shanny when Shanny said this? And that they was encouraging Shanny to throw me out the house? Does that now mean that Dragnet, and I'm going to use him as an example, does that mean that Dragnet is actually a supporter of Shanny because they're telling her to throw me out the house? What about Sabella at the time? Or what about let me see something here. What about the Geek Room and all these other people that was telling her, yeah, throw G-Man, throw G-Man out, throw G-Man out? Does that make them supporters of Shanny? Because if you think I can't show those comments, you're crazy. A lot of that stuff is still on my phone. Shanny even admits this in audio about who is supporting her. That's why I would love to come on your channel, BurntToast, and see the look on, well, can't see the look on your face because you're too much of a coward to cut your camera on. But I would like to hear your voice when you have to actually admit that you were seriously uninformed about a lot of this. You do understand that I made a video towards Drag, asking Drag, said, Drag, if you care so much about race, why didn't you get on Shanny the very first time she called me the N-word? You want to know why? Because he was too busy showing her fake support. And the reason why I can say this is because anybody and their mama can go to Fat Courtney Love's YouTube channel and go look at the past and go look at Shanny and Rev and Dragnet being in bed together in the sense that they were being friends. What's your argument with Carrie? What is your argument? Somebody leaves a supporting comment. Somebody leaves a donation, and that means that they're friends. Let me tell you this. I said this in the past video, and I'm going to say it in this video. Me and Carrie are not talking in Discord. We're not talking via Skype. We are not talking via any of those things. I was on your channel, BurntToast, and we was having a disagreement over Shanny. That doesn't mean that me and you are bosom buddies or whatever. Okay? That is intellectually dishonest on your part, BurntToast, for you to make such an argument. That somebody is nice to them in the comments. I can show you when Shanny and Rev had that channel, what's that mess called? The Losers Club. And for every 9 or 10 negative arguments that somebody was leaving a positive one. And you want to know what, BurntToast? They're called trolls. They're called trolls. And they were trolling Shanny. They were trolling Shanny when she had her Losers Club channel. They were trolling Shanny when she had her Instagram. I'm sorry, not her Instagram, her that junk called the one you play the video games or whatever, the one when she showed up behind or whatever. They trolled her on that. They trolled her on YouTube. They troll her all the time on Instagram. Kind of like you and Jules was doing when Shanny was at her peak here on YouTube. Or rather, let's just say Jules. Because I'm not going to pretend I know a whole lot about you during those particular days, BurntToast. I do know about your obsession about Bullhorn Betty, but that's a topic for another day. But you make it sound like because somebody leaves comments in somebody's chat, that means that they're supporters of them. Like I said, does that mean you supported me, BurntToast, when you was in my live chat saying positive things about me on the GTV channel? Or even if you were saying negative things on my channel, does that make you a supporter of mine? No. Dragnut's been on my channel. Get this. Dragnut was on my channel after I stopped being friends with Shanny. Was Dragnut a supporter of G-Man? And the answer is no. I talked to Drag on Skype. Me and him both were listening to the owner that was at the hotel. That is well documented. People saw the video about that, whether it was on his private shows or whether or not it was on his public shows. Does that make Dragnut a supporter of me? You want to know why this is important, BurntToast? Because it shows that you have a selective memory. You only want to point this out about Carrie and try to paint it in the negative light as if Carrie was supporting the behavior and the actions of Shanny and Rev, but then you want to choose to ignore the people that you are affiliated with and the people that you're associated with. And don't even get me started about the Dark Ninja stuff regarding some of the disgusting people that you hang around on, BurntToast, but we're not going to go there. Because you forget your name was in there. You forget this. And I never questioned you about that, but I will when I come on your channel. But let's get to this here. You keep saying that because Carrie left a positive comment in Shanny's, let's say hypothetically speaking, after Rev kicked Shanny's kid, that Carrie decided to go in the chat and leave a positive comment. Does that mean that Carrie is supporting all of the disgusting garbage that Shanny was doing on social media? If that's true, BurntToast, you need to make another video and actually show that. You can't do it. I know you can't do it. And I got more experience on social media than you, and I know you can't do it. What that is a propaganda campaign, once again, to try to take away her audience so that people can go watch The Dork Room. Get over it, BurntToast. Get over it. All right? Now, what about the stuff about G-Man doc dropping? Now, for like the 15th or 30th time on this channel, I've admitted the stuff that I've done on here, and I apologize. I even apologize to you, BurntToast, for calling you a whore on here, or a view whore or whatever. I apologize for that stuff on this channel, and I owned all of it. I even went so far, and you know how much I dislike the people you hang around, BurntToast. I even went so far on this channel and said that you guys were right about Shanny and I was wrong. The most people saw those videos when I made them, because I believe 200 or 300 people was watching during that particular time when I made those videos. Okay? What I want to know is, why do you in the Geek Room keep bringing that up? Because you see, BurntToast, I never forgot about the things that you, Dragnut, the Geek Room, Ms. Parker, and the rest of you guys did in private. I never forgot about what you guys did in public. Would you like for me to start bringing up the past and show you just how disgusting your company actually is at the end of the day? I can show you the Discord servers where the people that you are affiliated with were supporting some pretty disgusting behavior. And I'm not the only YouTuber that can do it. And you know it. Yes, G-Man drop Dragnut. But guess what? 3 years before G-Man did it to Dragnut did it to me and then laughed about it live on camera. You didn't talk about that, BurntToast. well, we ain't gonna talk about we ain't gonna talk about Drag. Let's talk about Miss Parker. Miss Parker was dot dropping me behind the scenes, and Miss Parker was dot dropping me in public. We call that a receipt. Some people on here, when they have enough, they had enough. And you ain't got no room to be talking about dot dropping because all you do on your channel, BurntToast, is dot drop people. AKA Bullhorn Betty. That woman don't got a private life as long as you are on social media. Have you ever asked her permission to put her private information on your YouTube channel? No, you have not, BurntToast. I've seen you leaving comments on some disgusting people's channels, BurntToast, and in their servers. Does that mean that you support them? You hypocrite. I tell you what I'm gonna do for you, BurntToast. I'm gonna give you 48 hours to address this. What I'm saying right now. Normally, this is how you would be. Oh, G-Man ain't gonna do nothing. G-Man. I'm gonna give you 48 hours. That means you got until Sunday. You got until Sunday evening to make some sense out of this for me. Before I start reminding people about how disgusting your community is. And I have a lot of insight on this that some people in this community don't have. If you thought what happened to Shanny and Red was something, wait till I get done with you guys. Don't play with me. You, the Jules Tales of Dragnut, BGTV, Miss Parker made my life a living nightmare on here. You got a lot of room to be talking about somebody dot dropping on here. It's only fitting you guys got a taste of your own medicine when you guys started messing with the wrong people on here. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the point is that Carrie and me are not BFFs. We are not friends. We are not. I think what it is with me and that channel is that me and Carrie both agree that Shanny is trash. I think we both agree that Shanny needs to be exposed. I support because at least when Carrie goes about dealing with Shanny, Carrie doesn't have to put plants out there and pay people to leave donations in their super chats in order for her to get money. When I get ready to play you out, BurntToast, I'm gonna play you out. I'll invite the old gang back on here again. I'll bring Gentleman Pioneer back on here, and I'll bring a bunch of other people, and we'll just remind you this how stupid you really are, BurntToast. I got no problem with that whatsoever. At all. So how are me and Carrie friends? Because I went on her channel one time? Or does that mean that me and you are friends, BurntToast? What are you, stupid? Should I make a YouTube video when I came to your channel saying best friends are live? Because I was on your YouTube channel? When I said something nice about you or BurntToast, does that mean I'm friends with you? I've been in the geek room, what, 5, 10 times? Maybe more than that since I've known about them? Does that make me in the geek room friends? Just because somebody is nice to someone, or just because I'll use Carrie in this. Just because Carrie is being nice to somebody and is being gracious and allowing me to be on her platform, just because I give her a super chat because I agree with the statement that she makes regarding Shanny or something like that, doesn't make us friends. But it also doesn't mean that I dislike her or anything like that. Because the one thing I can say about her versus you, BurntToast, at least when Carrie criticizes me, she's not trying to do it to put me 6 feet under like you are, BurntToast, and like Dragnut and those guys are trying to do. It's called constructive criticism, something you know nothing about, BurntToast. I keep hearing all these YouTubers on here talk about how intelligent you are. You are by far one of the dumbest hypocritical people on the net, BurntToast. Because they can take them same stupid arguments that you're making about Carrie, and I can apply them to you. Hey guys, check it out. I was on BurntToast's YouTube channel. Me and BurntToast was having a civil conversation. Guess what? Me and BurntToast are friends, according to BurntToast's stupid argument. I was on Miss Parker's channel. Me and her had a civil conversation. Does that mean me and Miss Parker are friends? Miss Parker was on my channel. We had a civil conversation. Does that mean that me and Miss Parker are friends? Todd Malico's been in my room. We've agreed about some things and we disagreed about some things. Does that mean me and him are friends? Me and Lubis have talked on air and off air about great debate stuff, about the community stuff, about Spanish and things like that. He's proud of me because I'm learning Spanish or whatever. Does that make me and Lubis friends? No. The only reason you want people to think that Carrie is friends with me, and this is the psychology behind it, is that you want people to stop supporting her because you know a lot of the people in the community don't like me. That's why you keep pointing that out. But I'm here to publicly let everybody know that just because Carrie invited me to her channel, just because I had a civil conversation with her and her husband, who, by the way, has a job, Rev, if you're watching this, you know, that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to hold down the fort. Just because I'm having a civil conversation with them and I donate to them doesn't mean we're friends. I'm pretty sure that if I go back on her channel and I go look at some of these videos with her reviewing Shanny and Rev, I'm being talked about in a negative light. I'm pretty sure of it. As a matter of fact, I've heard Omni talk about me in a negative light, but it's all fine and well. I am a grown man and I can handle criticism. I don't got a problem with that. What I do got a problem with is when I got people like BurntToast getting on social media using propaganda to lie to other people to get people to not trust somebody. There is a reason why nobody likes the Dragoons' BurntToast. There is a reason. You people are intellectually dishonest. You are hypocrites, and you want to hurt people. That is your goals in life. And without that, you don't have a life. Which is why you're on social media, which is why the Geek Room does what it does, and the rest of them do what they do. Carrie seems to be just interested in this Jerry Springer type nonsense that's going on here on YouTube. Like I said, BurntToast, you want to talk about my past? I can do it myself. I can talk about the things I've done on here. But what I would like to have happen just one time, BurntToast, since you're an investigative reporter, that you actually tell everything in its proper context, because we know how much people like yourself don't like context. I can even argue slander, BurntToast. You are correct when you say, BurntToast, that G-Man dropped someone, particularly Dragnut. Why didn't you tell everybody else that 3 years before that, Dragnut did it to me? And I'll do you one even better, BurntToast. Why don't you tell everybody that Dragnut wanted me to do it? Go ahead. Make a video and tell everybody how your boy wanted me to do it. And if you think I can't prove that, you're on crack cocaine. No, that little spy that you guys put in my life, Indigo, okay, and some of the friends that I had that I still got that I can reactivate whenever I want, can come on here and confirm that. So again, I'm here to publicly say that the only reason BurntToast even brought that stuff up about me going on Carrie's channel or Carrie being nice to me is to try to make her lose support. Now, here's the other thing that people need to understand too about these moronic, do the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result, BurntToast type people regarding Carrie. They're saying, then why haven't you blocked G-Man yet? And that is the issue there. It is a psychological way to try to control her platform. If you want to prove you have nothing to do with G-Man, block him. And I'm going to tell Carrie something. Carrie, if it's going to give you a peace of mind, take away a migraine to block me, fine. I got your Cash App, and if I don't, I'll get it from Sabella. It's all good. I don't worry about that. I'm not worried about that. But everybody does need to know that these people are bringing these things up to try to control her platform. And if they do it enough, they know from history that they will ultimately control her platform if she starts bowing down to their whims. I see the difference between Carrie's audience and the people that supports like the BurntToasts of the world or the Dried Nuts of the world and the Geek Rooms of the world. And there's a fundamental difference between the two. They follow Carrie because they love Carrie. The people that follow the Geek Room and BurntToast and the rest of these guys do it because they were manipulated into doing it. And that is a real big difference between the two. Carrie can get on there and talk about ducks going whack, 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 and her audience will watch. BurntToast tried that. BurntToast will lose a lot of her audience. Because BurntToast is a stalker, just like her audience is. Not all of them, but the majority of them. You know what I should have called this video? I should have called this video BurntToast Activates. That's what I should have did. But that video is old. It's not a new video. So there's no need to do something like that. But if she responds, she'll definitely get an activation video and she won't like it. That's for sure. Because then it'll be receipts showing her that she's a liar. So again, BurntToast, using your dumb logic, just because someone's friendly with you doesn't mean that you're a supporter, because if that's true, then you're friends with Frank. Frank is into some really sick stuff. By that logic, people should probably unsubscribe to you. And by the way, BurntToast, did you block Frank yet? I'm just curious. Did you block the Geek Room yet? No, I don't think you did. You ain't block a lot of sickos that's in this community that you thought that nobody was ever going to find out about. Shout out to the Dark Ninja. Anyway, let's look at the comments here real quick. Let me see something here. No, I got to put this one on here right here. This one's pretty funny. You believe anything you hear. You hear that right there? If you believe I believe anything I hear, you clearly are super duper 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 new to me. You're super new to me. Anyway, that's it with the comments. Okay, so let me close this here real quick. Nope, don't want that. Okay, so I'm not friends with Carrie. Just because Carrie is nice to me and may say a nice thing about me doesn't mean that, like I said, we're sharing presents, sharing birthday gifts, and sharing Christmas gifts or anything like that. That stuff's not going on. And I think it is messed up. And I think it's totally intellectually dishonest for people to think that just because somebody's nice to me, that means that we're automatically friends. Because if that's true, then Matt Dillon was nice to me for about 2 seconds. Does that mean me and him are friends? Thunderfoot and me, if we're talking nice to each other, does that mean we're friends? Me and the Amazing Atheist had about 15 to 20 minutes to an hour of nice talk. Does that mean that we're friends? He talked about me on his channel. The utter stupidity coming from BurntToast is absolutely hilarious. And one of the things that you'll notice with BurntToast, when BurntToast has got to deal with a YouTuber with experience on here, who actually does their homework and actually knows their YouTube history, she does extremely poor. Because the last time I talked to BurntToast in the Geek Room, she got embarrassed over the donations that was being given to Shani and Rev when I was talking about what Jules was doing with that. And I don't care how butthurt she gets. I can make her more butthurt than she thinks I can. But anyway, I know some of you was watching Carrie live. Go back to watching Carrie live. And if Carrie is watching this on her channel, Carrie, you do your thing. You ignore these idiots and do your thing. All right. The stupidity that comes out of these people's mouth isn't even worth responding to sometimes. I'll talk to y'all later.